Ever Voices welcomes you all for this episode with Sachi, the artist who paints on silk, and all her work looks like we are in spring. So let's welcome Sachi again. We're going to continue with the earlier episode. Welcome back.
Hi.
Wow, beautiful, beautiful.
Thank
This
you.
is
Thank you.
like, I don't know, you transport me to the gardens where these flowers will be like, like butterflies on their own, and it flows so beautifully. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Thank you for
Agree.
joining again because I didn't want to lose the continuity. We were having the conversation which is moving and flowing very
Yeah.
easily, just like paint on silk. And let us continue. Please tell us about when did you start to teach this art form?
So actually, I started, I think in 2023.
Oh,
It's not been very long,
yes.
because I was always skeptical about uh, teaching online.
Mm,
And offline, I was in Delhi at that time. Offline was not an option for me. Because
okay.
I was staying with my in-laws. My husband was posted to a field station, and we had a small house, and
Right.
so there was no space as such, so I couldn't do it. But then many people were like my friends were telling me, you should teach, you should teach. So I just posted an ad on Instagram, and the response was good, and so that's when I started.
That's good. That's good. And but what were the challenges you faced when you were to do the first workshop? Emotionally,
Uh,
physically?
No, physically, yes, there was a space crunch, you can say. And so I didn't have a dedicated studio at that time.
Mm,
So I used to do it in the dining room. And there were a lot of people. So, idhar se awaaz, udhar se awaaz. So,
mm,
that was the thing. But other than that, I'm blessed that I have a very, very supportive family, and my in-laws are like really you can say out of this world type. So I their support was there, so I could do it. There were not many challenges, I would say. Yes, I am a little technologically challenged, and
yeah.
I didn't know
Same here.
anything.
Same here. I'm on the same boat.
So, and I didn't know anything about online classes and all that. And I remember that during my first class, and I forgot to hit the recording button, and I was like, oh my God. And when the class got over, then I realized what I have done. Then I apologized to everybody, and then I said, okay, I will have a recap and I will repeat everything once again so that it gets recorded. And I'm lucky that people are very understanding when they come for my classes. And it was my first time, but after that, it just took off. So I can say that I'm a quick learner.
That's
So
right.
and,
That's right.
yeah,
Mm.
so I learned
See, knowing
quickly. And
our strength and weakness is very important. Otherwise, we could lose track of where we are going, how we are doing things. And
exactly.
technology is a challenge even for me. You won't believe when I started this, I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know how to upload. I didn't know how to, I forgot to press the record button in one of my
Hmm.
interviews. And then
Hmm.
when I went back and saw, I mean, halfway through it, I pressed it. So the
Hmm.
interview is only half. And it was one of the most important interviews I wanted because he was a very senior Ayurveda doctor.
Hmm. Hmm.
Although this is for women's space, because we were
Hmm.
discussing women's health about PCOS
Okay.
and all that, it was a very important one, but I can't go back and tell him, okay, you come and again record it for me. Uh,
I know.
but you won't believe now when they as I come in, I make sure that okay, I'm pressing the record button. We do mistakes, and with every mistake we learn.
Yeah, yeah.
It
So
actually
before every workshop starts, where I usually what I do is I make a WhatsApp group just 2 to 3 days prior to the workshop,
okay.
so that I can share the instructions and the Zoom link and everything in the group. So I always put a message that please request someone to please remind me to hit the recording button. I might forget. I do that because I'm like that.
You
I'm
will not
quite
believe I used to do workshops in other, not on this platform, but other platform.
uh,
You know what? I used to keep a big board there, record, press record
yes.
button. Yeah, we all do that. That's true. And well, how do they learn online? Because this is something so intricate and it needs a very personal touch. Uh,
See, Vanitha, I used to think like that, and that is the reason why I started so late because I always thought that art is something that you need to learn offline. You need to see,
absolutely. Absolutely.
right? But now I feel that online has a much, much bigger advantage over offline classes,
Yes.
especially for something like this. I'll tell you why. See, what happens is that in an offline thing, it's good if you are going for a one-time project, that
Mm,
you go, you make a small scarf,
mm.
and you take that home. Get
Right.
back home, you are very happy that, okay, I have created this. It's like
Right.
kind of sip and paint workshop
Mm,
or things like that.
mm,
For that, offline is good. But if you want to actually learn the tricks and
mm.
the tips and the things and the knowledge that I have to share, I think online is a much better platform. Number one, imagine, see, you can see this
Mm,
is my
mm.
studio. Imagine
Yes.
I'm teaching on this, and I teach like this only. You know. Now imagine if I'm doing it offline, and if it is a large group, then people who are standing right next to me, they can see everything. But those who are standing at the back or
Right.
they will not be able to see it. The second biggest advantage is recording. In
Mm,
an offline workshop, you come, you see, and human mind is like that, the whatever you see in one day or whatever you learn one day, you are not going to remember it after a week or so.
mm.
You're going to
Right.
forget half of the thing,
Absolutely.
right? And this art form which I teach, my focus is always on sharing the technicalities. I want
Mm.
people to understand the fabric and
Right.
I want people to understand the paints. I don't teach them how to paint a particular flower. I will not tell them, okay, this is how you should paint a rose or this is how you should paint a lotus or things like that. My focus is always on technical aspects,
Mm.
uh, basics and the technicalities and the limitations.
Right.
And for that, I think I share so much of information that sometimes it becomes, especially when it is my powder dye workshop, where I teach how to make your own silk dyes.
Correct.
That is sometimes I feel that I'm teaching chemistry, to people, and it becomes an overload. So
Mm.
recording is a big, big help, which is not there in offline. So I
But
think online.
how do you record on that?
So usually what I do is I have two phones and
Mm,
I have an app called Iruin something.
mm,
So I connect both my phones with my webcam, you know.
mm.
So what and I keep switching the camera. So
Okay.
when I have one is like overhead, so when I have to show a close up of something like this
Mm,
on a small piece, or when I have to show them the brushes or things like that, then I change the camera so the angle will immediately change and it will focus on my table. And then I have another phone which is connected again, it is connected. So when I have to show the frame, I again switch the camera and then only this portion is visible. This is my stand. If you can
correct.
see, is you see it's something like this.
Correct.
So
Correct.
I
Oh,
have,
wonderful. Okay.
yeah, this is what I do. I can take it with me. I can carry it and I can change the angle and things
Right.
like that. Very minute close-ups are also possible. I can show them exactly what I want, and everybody will be able to see that on their
Okay.
individual screen. I think that is a very big advantage of online, which is not there in offline. So I thought of doing offline, and I tried. I not
Mm.
tried. I would say there were three ladies. They came all the way from Vizag to
Wow.
Kanpur to learn
Okay.
from me. And I
Mm.
was like, really. But I found that online is much better.
Okay. But
Yeah.
how long do your workshops last? Is there a basic, intermediate, advanced? Do you do like that or?
No, I usually categorize according to the type of colors. So
Mm,
I have basically two types of workshops, techniques that I teach. One is painting with acrylamine colors.
mm,
That is a smaller workshop because they are simple
mm,
colors. They are heat fixed, so I don't have to teach steaming and all. So that is usually for 4 days.
mm,
And where I teach everything from scratch, so it starts with the introduction to the material, then it goes on to stretching the fabric on the frame,
okay.
transferring the design, preparing your colors, painting the background, everything. So that is a 4 day. And then if I take a silk painting workshop, so it covers everything from basic to advanced. So that is for 6 days.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I have to teach
And
steaming.
yeah, and how do they prepare the materials?
I share a list with them. It's a
Mhm,
very comprehensive and detailed list of what all is required. When I'm teaching them silk painting with powder dyes, then
mm.
I send them the kit as well.
Okay.
And in the kit, I send them because the powder dyes that I use, they are not good quality dye powders are not easily available, and everybody doesn't know where to purchase them
Yes,
from.
yes.
So I send them a kit of the basic colors that they need. So I send them silk paints, which I make on my own. I send them dye powders,
Mm,
and I send them gutta,
mhm.
and I send them a few other dye auxiliaries which we require while we are preparing the silk dyes. So those are the things that I send them. Rest of then I send a material list to them and I share some links. And so it becomes very easy for them to, prepare
My
everything in
greatest
advance.
concern is how to make this frame now, making the
This
frame.
is super. This I share a diagram actually with everybody to make a frame that is sufficient to fit a stone. So the biggest advantage of this frame is, it is made from PVC pipes.
Yeah, I could understand that. Yes.
Yeah. So this is something of a frame. It is portable
Hmm.
and it can be extended. It can be decreased in size.
Okay.
So I can turn it into a small frame to if I'm painting a stole. If I'm painting a dupatta, I can change the dimensions according to that. If I'm painting a sari, then it turns into a 6 meter long this thing. So I
Wow.
teach all this in the class.
Wow, it's wonderful. So my worry is only that how do we create a frame and everything? Like as I told you, there is a plan to start a full art, uh, a school of art for everything. So
Hmm.
yes, so like more important than the course details or anything, to create the studio is very important. A space where they can just sit and work, where we have things to wash and
Hmm.
table to sit and do and all that. And batik painting, as I told you, it has been very close to my heart since I think 2003 or
Hmm.
no, I think it's 2005 when I actually met a batik artist in Malaysia. He's a
Hmm.
deaf and dumb artist and wonderful human being. I mean, like I've never seen someone so good. Very rare you come across people who are
Hmm.
genuinely good, uh,
Yes,
not
yes.
on the surface, but genuinely good. And nowadays, like everybody wants to fake it, you know. But his work, that's the ones he does on silk, like makes scarves and all. Wow,
Yeah, yeah.
it is like I don't know, magic. That's what when the art that he has, it will look very effortless when he's doing.
Hmm.
Very
Hmm.
effortless. Like it is just like we'll think that he's scribbling something,
Hmm. Hmm.
and
Hmm. Hmm.
such beautiful work that he creates is beautiful, extraordinary. And I was fortunate to be connected through him with other artists, various art forms. And
Yeah.
so, like for me, art is a language. Art is a language by itself. And when we create this kind of community, and also a platform where everybody can come. Like, let us say that you or him, top artist, along with
Hmm.
people who are students who are learning, budding artists, and when they come together on a platform, they can evolve and they can really be confident enough to create bigger things.
Yes, yes, definitely. See, I'll tell you, Vanitha, there is what you are suggesting is, I think I am also working towards that only. I have a good number of people around, I think around 500, close to 500 people
That's awesome.
who are my students, and they are doing such wonderful work. Even the first timers are, silk painting with dyes is not everybody's cup of tea.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
some people, yes, they do spoil it in the
Mm.
first time. Tell them, please don't lose heart, because, I don't know how many
So be
pieces I have
prepared.
spoiled.
Be prepared. You're going to get a
Yeah,
student who's going to spoil it. Okay? You're
yeah.
talking to that student now.
No, no, it's very natural, it's very
Yeah.
natural. And but the thing is that if you learn something proper, and this is something that you cannot, if you are expecting, ki, okay, I'll create a masterpiece in the first time, you are
No.
sadly mistaken. It will not happen. And this is the first thing I tell them that is my opening sentence, please lower your expectation.
I'll tell you one thing.
Uh,
I went for a pottery workshop. Okay.
uh,
And
uh,
I mean, like I used to see, like people doing pottery and the
mm,
kind of flow, it's like a dance for me, moving dance. So I went for
mm,
that. And when I came back, my daughter asked me, "How was your class?" I said,
mm,
"The clay literally destroyed my ego. That's it. That's it." Because I was thinking that just the same way you are. Like, I know this,
mm,
I know that. We have that in our mind. And I go
mm,
there thinking, okay, I'm going to create this today. Okay?
mm,
You will not believe the way it was just going here and there and literally out of the wheel. And but my
mm,
teacher was very, very patient. And
mm,
she said, "No, you will get it. You will get it." I had three teachers now with pottery, and
mm,
then I thought I just stepped back a minute, and I told,
mm,
"Okay, you lead me," and I could really finish making 8 pieces. But even
yeah,
now, I'm not so comfortable with pottery as I am with other art forms. And what you're
mm,
saying is very true. First of all, I understood what art taught me is that I have to just surrender.
yes,
You just
definitely.
surrender to the teacher, surrender to the art, and that is what the Japanese teachers teach us actually.
Mm,
It's very beautiful. And okay, we're coming to your workshops again. How do you charge for? Because I want viewers might see, and like when I give your details, I want them
yeah.
to, yeah,
So it actually depends upon the structure of the workshop.
right.
Uh, for my acromine workshops,
Hmm.
I don't provide the kit, and
Okay,
they have to purchase the fabric and the color kit themselves, and I charge 4,500 for that. It's a
okay,
4-day workshop, and I give them a recording,
okay,
which the link remains active for 1 month,
okay.
and they can download it on their laptop for lifetime access. Because recording is, I think, it's a must, because people go
Yes.
back to them again and again and again. So I always tell them, please download it.
Huh.
So that's how it goes, And for my silk painting workshop, I charge 7,500,
Mm.
and that is with the kit. I send them a kit as well.
Yes. Yes. That is precise. Okay. Okay. Now the for the frame, you'll be sending them the design and how they have to make it. It's step by step. That is there. That is also there.
Yes, I
Okay.
send them a diagram
Mm.
where the exact dimensions of the pipes that they need to cut,
Mm.
and how to join it, all that is there. It's a very clear diagram.
Mm.
And if somebody requests, I usually send them a message that, they can call me if they are having any problem. So sometimes people do call me, and they ask me, ki, ma'am, can you please explain, or can you send me a
Yeah, the
video of your frame?
easiest is I'll take it to a hardware store and tell them, okay, you make it for me.
Yeah, yeah. So I make a short video of
Mm.
this frame and I send it to them. It becomes very easy. So most of them have been able to make it. So there is
Oh,
no problem as such.
acha.
And like I said, the dimensions that I send them is sufficient to fit a stole.
Okay,
Because I teach on a stole. I can't teach them on a sari in the beginning. So I always teach on a stole. That is
right.
the smallest piece that you can. It's easier for them to handle. And I, during the workshop only, first day itself, I teach them, ki, okay, so this is right now, this is the size which is fitting a stole. Now, if
Mm.
you want to extend it into something that can fit a dupatta, then these should be your dimensions, and that is what you should do. If you want to fit a sari, then these should be the dimensions. And I
Right.
explain it so
Right. So, okay,
quickly.
coming to prices, like let us say they learn it and they want to sell it. So
Hmm.
let us say that what is the cost of sari, which is habutai silk with silk painting?
Hmm.
How much can a person sell it for?
Now, see, Vanita,
It
there is
depends. It
no
depends on the
uh,
design and so many
no,
things. Mm.
it's not just that. It also depends upon how established you are,
Yes.
what kind of clientele you have. That is the most important thing.
Mm.
Are people,
Mm.
because this is art. Now,
Yes.
I can quote
Art
a
doesn't
price
have a
of,
price, right? Art doesn't have a price.
yeah, and
Mm.
sadly and unfortunately in India, people don't want to pay for art. Yeah, it's a sad truth.
That's
It's
a
there.
very sad truth. You know why? India is the
Hmm.
only country in the world where each and every state has its own textile, own art,
Yes.
own jewelry, own kind of
Hmm.
cuisine, and we take it in our, granted. We take it for granted, and we don't want to pay what it rightly deserves.
Hmm, exactly. And second thing is that these days, there is you can say that fabric painting is like so
Yes,
much,
yes,
everybody is doing it.
yes,
Everyone is doing it.
yes, yes.
And people are selling their hand painted saris, full saris for prices like 3,000, 4,000.
Mm,
There is a lot of exploitation because there are people who are like resellers. I get
yes.
approached by so many people who are reselling. They ask me, ki, okay, I will give you bulk orders. Will you paint a sari for me? For they and it's like sometimes I feel, how can they even mention such price? When I
Yes.
ask them their budget, they say it's 500 per sari. I said,
Tell you
what?
one thing, Kalamkari, the most famous in India now,
Yeah.
they pay the artisans 1,500 per sari. And
Per
when
sari.
they sell it, they are selling it for 25,000.
Exactly. I
I
know
mean,
that.
it's really sad,
It's very sad.
exploitation. This
Uh,
is complete exploitation.
So there are many people who join me. They are like beginners, and most of let me tell you, although there are people who are doing it for just for a hobby or they want
Yes.
to do it
Mm.
for themselves, but majority are who want to enter into this market as they want to do it professionally.
Right.
So they always ask me this question: how to price their this thing? And I always tell them, see, there is no a fixed answer for this. So, and
Yes.
it's a hard decision, that tough call that you have to take. That are you willing to underprice your work?
Absolutely.
You know, once you
Absolutely.
start selling at a lower price, like I remember when I started painting initially, I used to sell my saris for 4,000, 5,000,
My God.
and I always worked on pure fabric, and
Mm.
I now realize that my cost was, I think I was taking only 1,000 rupees or 1,500 for the entire work. The rest was all my cost. Now I charge 20,000, 25,000.
Right.
It's and it's not that I have many takers. People, many a times, people they will ask for the price. There are a lot of people whenever I upload something,
Mm.
price please, price please, price please,
Yeah,
price please.
yeah.
The conversion rate is hardly 1%.
Yes.
Now it's my decision whether I want to sell it for half the price or I don't want to this thing.
Sell
So
it.
I
Yes.
have decided not to sell it for less. You know.
Absolutely. And see, that is why I wanted you to talk about this on a public platform because what is the right price cannot be determined by anybody. We have the material cost, we have the paint cost, and then the labor is there, and it's
Hmm.
art. Art doesn't have
It's
any value, absolutely no value. There is a famous artist now. He just sold nothing. I mean, like, he didn't create any art, and he sold
invisible
it for
thing.
invisible art, and he sold it for $18,000. I
I
mean,
mean,
just imagine that is the price he gives his own art. That's
hmm.
very important. And unless we break through that, and India has to arrive on a platform where it is really rightly respected for what it richly deserves.
You go to Western countries, silk
Mm,
painting is actually a Western this thing. It's not.
mm.
It did not originate in India, but it's very
Yes.
popular these days.
Mm.
But if you look at the Western countries, their hand painted silks are like people treat it like artwork, and they will
It
never
is.
question why is your work so expensive. It's not
Yes.
expensive.
Correct.
It's
Correct.
not expensive. You can pay. People are willing to pay for a Sabyasachi sari,
Mm.
with like printed sari.
Right.
It's a
You're
printed
right.
sari. No,
You're
and
right.
how good the fabric is, it cannot be more than 5,000, 6,000, 10,000. The cost of the fabric. But people are willing to pay a lakh for it because it
Exactly.
has the name of Sabyasachi.
Exactly. See, that the shoe that is made somewhere in the bylanes of Mumbai is sold by
Hmm.
Prada or Louis Vuitton, and the price they just it is the brand price.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that is why I want to create a community where art becomes the brand. Okay, it is art, art
Yeah,
itself. It is not the face behind it.
exactly.
This is art, and art is, like, the flow that you get into art. I mean, like, it's not like any other subject that we can sit. Okay, after 2 hours I can talk about demand and supply, or this
Hmm.
formula to create this, chemistry, or something about writing also. I go to a class, I can write a book. That can happen. But art
Hmm.
is something, no matter who you learn it from, it is finally your art that has to come through.
Yeah, actually, it's your vision, what you
Yes,
think, how you
yes,
think, you
absolutely.
plan.
I
And
recently, went for a shibori workshop, that
hmm,
indigo dyeing. And
yes, yes.
you will not believe, without any prior knowledge, I was just going on knotting and creating. I mean, I don't know where it was coming from. So,
Hmm.
so like, when you just sit in silence, it guides you along. So,
Yes,
how do
definitely.
you weigh and pay for this? How do you weigh? There is no way that we can measure or weigh.
Hmm.
I agree with you. Even Ritu
Hmm.
Kumar, or the very that is like, I mean, like, they get it done. It is on a mass scale, but they price it
Hmm.
like it's extraordinarily unique or something. But while
Yeah.
the artists are doing, each and every piece that you do is different. Even with the
Hmm.
same colors, you can never reproduce
Yeah,
what you have done. You cannot.
cannot. I have painted, I mean, there are some of the designs which are best selling,
Mm,
but, and I have painted like my iris
mm,
sari. It
mm.
is kind of, and I don't even remember how many saris I've painted with the same design. But every time I make a sari, it ends up slightly different than the previous one.
Definitely. See, that is
So
why I
really feel,
understood art
yeah,
is the master finally.
yes, definitely. It is.
It is. So thank you so much. What I'm going to do is I'll put the details. You send me the details, and I'll put
Hmm.
it, and we have to promote. And the only way to promote art is to engage in conversations and create a community which will really respect art the way it needs to be respected. Because,
Definitely.
we have kept quiet for very long, and I think it's an awakening happening everywhere.
Hmm.
Yes, as you said, many people are interested now. They go to learn Tanjore art, Kalamkari art, and even artists are interested to teach now.
I have ladies who are 60 years old,
Yes.
and they are coming to learn from me. So there is definitely a trend, and people actually want to learn. And I have an upcoming workshop in the month of March. So I'll send you the details.
Okay.
Uh, and that is about acrylamide colors, handling how to handle them. And I think anybody who wants to start. who's a complete beginner, but they want to do it professionally, I always recommend them to start with acromine colors, because
Mhm.
you should graduate like this, it's
Absolutely.
easier for them to do it. They're most more cost effective, work on
Absolutely.
most of the fabric. So
You have to begin
yeah,
with the bow and arrow before you go to Brahmastra.
yeah, yeah, yes, definitely, definitely.
No, it's all the way you speak, and I was really fascinated with your work, with the personality, and that is very important because there's another lady who's teaching on Instagram, and she
Hmm.
uses that gutta this thing, seri gutta,
Hmm.
the French technique, and I just
Hmm.
asked her what is this, and she wouldn't tell. So the more
Oh,
you share, what happens is the more universe gives back. The
yeah,
anything,
definitely,
anything, especially
definitely.
knowledge. When you distribute knowledge, it never goes to waste. It comes back to us in many many various forms.
You know what, Vanitha, if you have time,
Yeah,
I
sure.
would like a minute to tell you something. In my every class, touch wood, uh, anybody who learns acromine colors from me, they will always go for my next workshop, which is self painting or vice versa. And that is one feedback and one comment which I always get from my students is that ma'am, you are very generous in sharing your knowledge.
That
You
is
are
that
very,
is what.
you tell everything. You tell everything. I somehow I ask them, okay, you tell me one thing. Is there anybody who's teaching and they're not telling everything?
There
But I
are
guess there are people.
there are people.
I I don't understand the concept behind it.
You know,
I
I'll tell you what you're coming to. The greatest teacher will give everything because he knows the student can never become him, but himself. The student will create a new part of himself. The teacher,
hmm,
a good teacher like Krishna is never worried about whether Arjuna is going to steal away his knowledge or anything. He literally gave it
yes,
to him. He
but it
literally
can
imparted.
stay or not. See, there are certain things which I don't tell, and I tell them. Like for example, see, I
Yes,
am a silk artist, and silk painting supplies are very costly,
yes.
and they are not easily available in India. So uh, I'm trying to make my own gutta,
Ah,
and so I can tell the recipe. And
yeah.
I tell them, see, this is what I will not tell because it has a commercial angle. I
Yes.
make my own silk paints, I make my own gutta, and I am planning to
Hmm.
launch a business where
Very good.
I want to start an online kind of store,
Yes,
one-stop shop for silk artists. So you
correct,
can buy your silk dyes, good quality and reasonable silk paints and gutta. I
correct.
am working towards it. I may never be able to reach there, but I am not willing to share that recipe. That is
See, that inspiration that comes from you, that is all that is enough. We need to, now, yes, we need to know where to stop, how much to give, and you can't give away everything. You can't.
yeah, that is sometimes
Nobody gives like that. Nobody gives like that.
so yeah, and I tell them
Hmm.
in the beginning only, I tell them this is please don't ask me. And people obviously,
Hmm.
because my students know that I make my own gutta, they sometimes purchase it from me also.
Hmm. Hmm.
Silk paints also they buy. So obviously by word of mouth, random people ask me on Instagram, that do you sell your gutta? I said, no, I don't. I
Hmm.
only sell them to my students because I am still in the process of making it and I am still not
Correct.
very satisfied with the result. So
Hmm.
I tell my students in the beginning of the workshop that, see, you can ask me anything, but this is something that please don't ask because I will not tell you.
True.
Because it has I am a business person as well,
Yes.
so I'm very honest about it. Rest
No,
everything you can
see, you need not say that you're honest about it. You can say that you are professional about it. In
yeah.
being a professional, we can
Hmm.
teach others to learn and do what we are doing. But
Hmm.
there are some formulas that, like it takes time. Like people ask me, why don't you give away your recipe? I'm an
Hmm.
excellent cook. I mean, this I'm telling with modesty. And
Okay.
for me to make a bisibella bath, which is
Mm.
better than what the Bangaloreans make, you
Mm.
imagine how many trials and errors I've
Yes.
gone through to perfect it. Perfect it. And you just write
Mm.
and give it. Not that I'm going to set up a restaurant any day, but I
Mm.
want that thing to be passed on to families.
Yeah.
And my daughter will ask me, why don't you ever tell me a recipe or how to make it? I said, I stood next to my mother to learn it. Just
Mm.
stand there, just keep watching. And because
Mm.
I don't give a measure of salt, I just sprinkle. Everything is sprinkle. So you see how
Yeah.
to do it, isn't it? These things you can't
Exactly.
explain to someone. And
Mm.
they also believe that like the Italians believe that you give away the recipe of food, the taste
Mm.
of what you make next will be gone.
Mm.
They have that in that. But
Mm.
if I were to even, let us say, that start a cooking class or teach them cooking, I would be
Mm.
doing it just exactly like you. There will be a hidden element which is magic that
Mm.
you need to hold, and that is not wrong, and that is
Mm.
your position of what you have created.
Yeah, in a way, Vanita, see, that is something that is completely different from what I am teaching them.
Right.
My job is to teach
Teach
them,
them
let's say, the
confidently
simple.
how to paint, right?
Yes,
Yes.
yes. So
Yes.
I tell everything about, I tell them such hacks.
Mm,
I tell all my tips and tricks which I have experienced,
that's right.
which I've learned over the years. I tell them what not to do. That
Correct.
is just this thing, because here it's very easy
How
to
not to fall into pitfalls.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
one thing with your kind of art, if a small mistake happens, also the entire piece is gone. You can
Yeah, yeah.
never
It's
reset it,
very,
or because you
very
can't
unforgiving.
repaint. Nothing can be done. Nothing can be done. So you suggest that this start with small pieces and then slowly, like a hanky,
Always.
hanky size, and then expand, right?
Not exactly hanky, but I encourage them to start with it, because people want to start with immediately start with the sari. So I tell them, please hold on,
Right.
start with a stole. A stole is a piece which is once you make it, because we don't wear in India, we don't wear hankies. What
Yes.
is the point of making a hanky? But
Right.
a stole is a very manageable piece. You can go for a shorter length. So I tell them, you take 1.6 meters, and
Mm.
it's because the width is less, so it's very easily manageable. And you
Correct.
get that satisfaction that yes, I created this piece, I made my own stole and things. That's where that satisfaction is very
But
motivating for
I think
people.
if when I learn from you, not if, when I learn from you, I think I have to get the bird of paradise. And
Yeah,
yes, I have to do that. And of course, the cherry blossoms, because of my Japanese passion about it. So you should hold on the cherry blossoms to begin at least with my group.
that that is, you can see this fabric. It is a pure organza, silk
Ah,
organza. I got this from Banaras. It's a very, because summers are coming, and it's a very light blush pink
mm.
kind of color that I have dyed it. And I was just thinking of painting cherry blossoms on this.
Okay, wonderful. I would like to do one at least, because
So,
I want to make for my Japanese teachers, and I want to make
uh,
for you a shibori shawl.
cherry blossoms are super easy to paint. I
Mhm.
will teach you how to paint them. The
Yes.
technique is, it's not very difficult.
No, there
But
is.
it requires time, because
It
the time
requires
it has.
patience because the petals have to come, the dots inside. It is something that the Japanese are very proud of, actually.
Yeah,
It is
yes,
there
yes.
like what is lotus for us, but we don't treat the lotus the same way as they treat the cherry blossom. That's very sad. But it's something of, they are very proud of it, and they
Mm,
cherish it actually, because
exactly.
it just comes momentarily and it's gone, and that is attraction that it has. So they
Mm.
wait a whole year to, for the viewing. I mean, who goes to view a flower that is cherry blossom?
Oh, but cherry blossoms are like, when they are in full bloom, it's
Yes,
excitement.
yes, it's breathtaking, breathtaking, very beautiful, very
Yes.
beautiful. And all that information that you've given has been wonderful. Thanks for sharing with us. And please provide the details so that I can add it to the description. And I want people to really take it as a serious hobby
Sure.
as well as a business. I mean, like, there are women who need to occupy their mind and time and earn through that. And art
Exactly.
can help them get there. And I
And
would,
it is very, it can be done.
yes,
If I can do it, then anybody can do it now.
don't say that. Don't
Like,
say
it's that
that. No, 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 no. It's not that. No, I have seen teachers. I mean, like, I'm doing Subi painting for almost 2 years now. And
simple.
trust